Welcome, Alex. Thanks for joining us today for the Substack stream.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your role at Pontoon Solutions.
Yeah, so I'm in the global sales organization, so I'm focused on new business development for Pontoon Solutions, new logos. My territory is financial services, technology, consulting services, or professional services, energy, oil and gas, so kind of a broad spectrum, but I'm focused on new logos with headquarters basically in North America.
Amazing. So you're in some of the hottest markets with the data center, energy, IT, tech, right?
Yes.
It's pretty exciting. So what are some of the exciting things that Pontoon's doing this year and some of the new offerings? I've seen so much, like your creative campaigns are amazing. Sam's brought in a whole new team. It's super interesting, so I'd love to hear.
Yeah, there's a ton going on at Pontoon. It's been an exciting time to be there, obviously, with Sam and her energy. When I started at Pontoon, there was some leadership positions in flux, and Sam's done a lot, to come in and stabilize that. So we've brought in some new folks over the last few months that have been and will be integral to our success over the next couple of years. And it's, apart from more of the personnel type changes, we got a lot of cool things going on, and the typical buzzwords: AI, analytics. We're trying to incorporate and build out our analytics platforms to incorporate more AI in our technology roadmap. Doing a lot this week with our innovation lab upstairs, which is pretty cool. I've sat through a couple of those meetings, and we have our head of tech and data, Christian Lortz, here, who's delivering basically in real time all of our demos for the things that we're releasing later this year, later this month. So it's cool to see all that in real time. And then one of the other cool things we're doing, or that we've done this year, is started a joint venture with the Adecco Group and Salesforce. And I think while a lot of that's still unknown exactly what that's going to look to be, two giant companies in the space putting their heads and resources together to develop AI-based workforce strategy solutions can only help us in our MSP program. So looking forward to that.
So you're leveraging Salesforce agentic platform
Exactly
to build something new to the market. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. Do you know when it's going to come out?
So I think it's slated for later this quarter, later this fall. There's supposed to be a big release here in September, October, I think. So we're looking forward to seeing more about that. But I know the team's hard at work, and they're working on developing new things to bring to market.
Yeah. Okay, great. What are some of the trends that you think are going to happen over the next 12 months?
And I think first and foremost, I think last year was my first CWS. I'm fairly new to the industry as well. So coming into this industry from management consulting for the prior 13 years, I mean, the talk of the last 2 or 3 years has been AI, and what is it? How's it going to impact? And I think we've transitioned now from what is it and what is the art of the possible to the implementation of it and seeing it actually working in our programs. So that's one, whether it's, AI tools for interview assessments or compliance related issues or onboarding or all these different types of things. It seems like there's a new use case for AI every day, where now it's the strategic implementation of AI rather than talking about what's coming with AI. So that's been pretty cool, and that will continue to evolve. But I mean, just the services procurement, the push to evolve the services procurement channel for all these MSPs. I come from the consulting world where I was predominantly working in the SOW space and writing SOWs, fixed outcome-based things that MSPs have managed, but more on the transactional administrative way. Now we're getting more into the strategic element of building, monitoring, and evaluating the data that comes out of managing SOW type contracts for our clients. So I think that's going to push. You're going to see the flip from staff aug to SOW and continue to go more towards that SOW based model where clients have more control over the cost and the outcomes that they're purchasing.
So like traditionally, like if you sold an MSP program, they'd say, let's start with CW and then we'll look at SOW later, right? And then that may happen or may not happen. Now when you're selling new programs, are you seeing them launching both at the same time?
Yeah, and even outside of SOW and staff aug, you're incorporating what I would call, and I think the industry calls, a total talent solution. You want to incorporate staff aug, SOW, direct sourcing, freelance management, gig workers, the gig economy, all at once, because that's the future, I think, of this business, is being able to have a single pane of glass for all of your talent needs. So I know when we are solutioning our programs, we're pulling in and trying to solution for SOW on the front end, um, mainly because a lot of our clients have a lot more SOW spend that they're trying to manage and wrangle. But it's different than just managing that spend. Now it's, how do we optimize that spend and how do we get the most out of our strategic SOW suppliers based on the data, and AI is helping quite a bit with that. Companies like Zivio, who we have a partnership with, are helping kind of synthesize that data and help us make data-driven decisions on the supply base and outcome-based work we're helping our clients with.
It's amazing. Yeah, I definitely see that clients are more open to really formalizing getting talent the way you want it when you want it,
Yeah,
instead of segmenting like you don't touch this, don't touch that.
exactly. You're seeing it all kind of come into the same place now. And feel like that's the way it should be. It just helps drive better decision making, when all of it's kind of under the same roof.
Yeah. So you talked about SOW a bit. So why do you think that trend's happened versus using traditional CW? Is it a tax issue or?
I don't think it's a tax issue. To me, I feel like it's more, control's the wrong word, but being able to monitor and evaluate the outcomes rather than just the work. Because yeah, and I think that more people want to understand exactly what's being done, exactly what they're paying for, and how that work went. And I think with SOWs, it's just a little bit easier, a lot of it easier to manage and monitor that, and evaluate how things went after the fact.
That makes sense. In your mind, what is a good MSP and a good MSP client partnership? Because there's two sides to the equation, right? So people always talk about just the MSP, but it only works if the client sets themselves up correctly with you to partner with you.
Definitely. To me, a good partnership there. Again, I'm fairly new to this industry, so I'm still learning, what that partnership looks like. But in my year and a half here, the best client partner relationships we've had are built on trust and built on understanding that we're here, yes, as a provider to help you manage your contingent labor, but we're also here as a consultative partner to help you achieve your long-term labor goals. So having clients that are open to that relationship. I come from consulting, so I'm used to being a strategic supplier or a strategic partner of my clients, and so it's nice to see that some of our partners or potential prospective clients are looking for more of that strategic relationship, where there are others where you see it's more of a transactional, I have to do this because I have this cost savings initiative that I need done by the end of that next year. And it's a very transactional, commoditized business. And I think the best relationships we have with our prospects are ones that are truly looking for guidance, and it's a two-way street. This is working well, this isn't working well, this is where I want to get to, and this is how we're going to get there.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I mean, they may have expertise in one aspect of their business, but you guys have the breadth around industries and different
Yeah.
clients, and so you can give them the best of breed and what comes out.
Exactly. And we also have the ability to leverage, our deep client portfolio and those relationships and how those have evolved over time for us, for better or for worse. So you can leverage the lessons learned, to start new relationships. And I think we do a really good job. Our people do a really good job of evolving our programs. Once we get those programs, we have a ton of clients that have been with us for 10, 12, 15 plus years, and I think that's a testament to that strategic nature of the partnership, rather than just, we need to get somebody on board and to work as soon as possible.
No, absolutely. And last year, the big buzz besides AI was direct sourcing and how it's going to take over the whole industry. What have you seen a year later?
I think we've seen it become an element that people are curious about, obviously. But I think the challenge has been, it's a costly initiative to start, and you have to be patient to give it time to work its way out, to work its way in, actually. And I find it best when it's incorporated with the MSP instead of a standalone service, because you see that too. There's a direct sourcing provider and there's an MSP, but to me, it's best kind of going back to that single pane of glass. It's another talent channel to get to find talent in an area where the MSP hasn't in recent years. So I find it's being incorporated more, but I think it's being incorporated smarter, where the MSP is acting as that main point of contact to kind of house that direct sourcing function. And I think it's working well in a lot of our programs.
No, definitely. I feel like it was the way it was implemented in the beginning. Clients would ask you to do it across everything, and it makes more sense if you pick the niches that
Exactly
align with
that's another good point.
Yeah.
Is direct sourcing in theory should be cheaper, faster, but if you're doing it across a vast portfolio of role and labor categories, it's not always the easiest to be integrated. I feel like if you start with a proof of concept or a niche area, it can really thrive there.
Yeah, no, definitely. And last question, what are you most excited about in the future of work?
I'm excited at seeing how the new changes at Pontoon are going to really help us take a leap this year and beyond. I think we've brought in a ton of talent, and I'm excited to see how that diverse talent comes in and helps evolve our programs. I'm excited about the opportunity to pull in more of this services procurement spend into our programs. And then, I've just been blown away by going to some of these partner booths and seeing some of our tech partners and what they're bringing to the market and how we can plug that in and partner better with them. So it's an exciting time in our industry. I think we kind of hit a not decision point, but not a fork in the road, but it's kind of getting a little bit stale. And I feel like a lot of these MSPs, Pontoon included, have taken some time to step back and say, what do our clients really want? And how do we help them get there? And I think that's super exciting.
No, I agree. It's definitely exciting times. Well, thank you so much. So good to see you.
Thanks, Ash.
Yep.
Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.